Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I'm bringing you the first episode I have put on this channel of a new series of mine called MW3 Spec Ops 3-star guides. Now, this is a series that I have recently started on my channel, and so far I think it's been quite well received. So what the plan is from now on is to split the videos I do between my channel and this channel, the Digital Warfare 24/7 one. Hopefully I'll be able to upload at least one of these a week to the Digital Warfare channel, and hopefully another one a week to my own channel. So there'll be 2 Spec Ops levels per week, showing you how to do them on Veteran, all being well. Now, I've already done I think 3 or 4 levels, so I think this is my 5th one. And so far this is the hardest one I've attempted to do. It's called Toxic Paradise. In this level you take the role of a guy in a Juggernaut suit, or 2 guys if you do it in co-op mode, and the idea is you've got to push through the area of Paris just after the strike and collect the samples of the chemical warfare agent that has been released on the streets. Now, it doesn't sound particularly hard, but trust me, it is a very, very tough level to do, because there are so many ways for you to die in this. There's enemy air support, there's plenty of enemy enemies, you run into Juggernaut guys, riot shield men, you know, it's a very, very tricky level with a lot of tight enclosed spaces. So you can think the room's clear, you'll push through, and then there'll be one guy sitting down behind you that you have missed, and he'll shoot you in the back, and that'll be the end of you. So I sincerely recommend you do this in co-op, because it's always useful to have someone watching your back. As you can see from the first sample claim you got there, when I went to defuse it, my mate made sure that no one could sneak up behind me. I mean, if he went down, it would still give me an opportunity to finish claiming the sample and get to him in time. So I really do recommend you do this with 2 people. The other tips I've got for this level is to try and vary your weaponry. As you can see, I'm using the AK-47 and my mate is using the LMG. I think it's the Mark 46 he's got there. The reason for this is, if one of you or both of you just use the same weapon, for example if you both use the LMG, quite a lot of times we'd be caught reloading at the same time, and it's never a good thing on Veteran, because you need someone putting rounds down range to try and thin the enemies out, because if you're both caught reloading at the same time, it gives the Veteran enemies a chance to push. I mean, the AI really does get a ramp on Veteran, I mean, especially the accuracy, so it does, you know, it does pay to try and stagger your reloads, especially if you're using the big beast of an LMG like this. Another tactic just for this little bit here, when you get to these steps there will always be a Jeep or a Humvee at the top of the steps with a machine gun on top, so it really just pays to be wary of that. I mean, the best tactic is to throw an air support beacon to the top and let that take it out, and I think in fact that's what I do here, because a lot of times early on when we first trying out this mission, this is the point where we get downed. You know, we would push forwards here and the Jeep would be there and take us completely by surprise and end up getting us downed. But you know, don't worry about that. If you throw the air support marker up nice and early, you can do this part with very little problems at all. And also it really pays to know that there is an ammo crate right up there, so you can be as liberal with your grenades or flash grenades as you want at the start of the map. You know, get rid of them, use as many as you want, because as soon as you get here you can replenish and you'll get even more to use. Now, this is the first part of the map where you run into a riot shield guy. There is a riot shield guy here, and I think I pick up the riot shield in a little while, or I think my friend does. Here we go. Yeah, I actually pick a riot shield up here, I think. Now, I think it's very, very important for at least one person to have a riot shield, because in the latter part of the level, as you are beginning to run towards the extraction point, it is very, very tight and narrow, and you need that guy with a riot shield at the front to just absorb damage. I mean, you are in Juggernaut suit, so you take a lot more damage than you would normally. However, there is quite a good chance of you getting down in the narrow parts of this level right at the end. So what I would recommend, as I've suggested, is just to pick the riot shield up. However, I would recommend you leave it as late as possible before you begin to use it, because as you all know, in Modern Warfare 3, the riot shield can be broken now. So if you just act as a bullet sponge from as early as possible, your riot shield can get destroyed very, very quickly. And I know some of you might be saying, well, why can't you just pick up a new one? You know, it's absolutely typical. Once your riot shield is blown up, you will struggle to find a new one. I mean, it happened to me the time before when we tried this. I had a riot shield. I was just acting as the bullet sponge. My mate was directly behind me picking people off. It worked brilliantly for about a minute or so, but once my shield went down, I went down pretty quickly afterwards, because I didn't really notice, and I just thought I was getting shot from the side. And then as soon as I got down in a really inaccessible part of the map, and then unfortunately when that happens, it's really looking dodgy for you on Veteran, because you can get killed so quickly, and especially if your teammate's not there watching your back, you've really got to make a play for him, and unfortunately it doesn't work all the time on Veteran. So yeah, my just general tips for this map are, like I've said, try and use different weapons. Try and use weapons that don't leave you vulnerable for too long, like the light machine gun. Or if one of you is going to use the light machine gun, try and make the other guy get an assault rifle just for those slightly quicker reloads, so you've always got the potential to put rounds down range, because that is the key thing in Veteran, and that is a key thing in any form of first-person shooter, especially a multiplayer. If you're rolling with a team, always let someone know that you're reloading, because then hopefully the other guy will stagger his reload or get your secondary out, just so there's a chance of you being able to get some rounds down range. Now, this is a very, very important part of the level as well, because here is where you run into a juggernaut. I don't think I quite triggered him that time, and I ended up getting down, but what the plan is to run out, trigger him, run back, stun him, and then throw an air support marker, and the air support marker will take him out most of the time. But if not, as he doesn't here, stand right in front of him with a right shield, just keep hitting him to keep him stunned, and get your friend just a blat light machine gun at him, and he will go down. So even with a little bit of a mistake there, there's still enough margin for error for you to take him out. Now, this is the beginning of the part of the level where it really begins to get hectic, because as you can see here, you begin to go inside. Now, when you're inside, the margin for error decreases even further, because you've got to check your corners. I mean, there are so many good spots in this next part of the level for people just to hide behind furniture, pop out and take you out with ease, so it really just pays to take your time at this level. This is a level where there is absolutely no time restrictions as well, so you can be as slow as you want. And in Veteran, it isn't about getting the fastest times. If you're going for the fastest time, do it on Recruit. You know, Veteran is just about trying to grind your way through. You know, this is a good spot for a noob tube as well. You know, it's very, very difficult for the enemy to shoot you up here. There's good cover if you do get shot, and it's quite an easy way to shoot all the enemies down below. As you can see here, you get a fantastic view, and you can pick them off as they're abseiling down, or you can pick them off as they're on the landing. So this is a really good spot. You know, just looking over, make sure the bottom floor is as clear as you possibly can before you go down. You know, Spec Ops doesn't have infinite enemies. You know, it has a finite number of enemies, so you can really plan your strategies down to the fine detail. So in this point, it really does pay just to make sure the room is as clear as possible. You know, if not 100% clear, only with 1 or 2 guys down that you can stun and flank easily, because, you know, if you do try and charge in a bit too gung-ho on Veteran, you can get taken down very, very quickly. So I would thoroughly recommend taking your time, especially on this level, because this is a very, very tough level. Anyway, this is the part where it does get very, very hectic. As you can see, as you begin to advance the door here, you will trigger enemies, as you can see there. Try and kill as many as possible, and then back up and throw an air support marker out of the door, I think, as you see me do here. Now, in fact, both of us do that now, and you back up and wait, because if you do charge out, occasionally the enemy do call air support markers right down on top of you, and they are quite difficult to spot, especially if they're just behind you, and you can get down very, very easily. So what we do here is just take our time, get the markers out. As you can see here, both of us got kills with our air support there. It just thins the enemy out, and then you can push forward. And this is the key part for the right shield squad. As you can see here, 3 or 4 guys with right shields come, supported by a couple of other guys without right shields. Now, the right shield guys in Spec Ops aren't exactly the brightest. As you can see there, they all just sit there quite happily in front of you, and they can be picked off with a grenade very, very easily. However, it still does pay for the guy with the right shield, in this case me, to get it out, because you do act as a massive distraction. I mean, this is the one AI weakness I've managed to find on Veteran. Once you've got that right shield, you really are the centre of attention for everyone. You will absorb fire at a ridiculous rate. So this point of the map is also a very, very hectic one. Occasionally, some right shield guys will hang back here, and if that is the case and you do get caught on the stairs with the right shield guy, it really does pay to have your own right shield out, just to be able to protect your teammate as he takes out the enemies. So I do strongly recommend getting a right shield as early as you can in this level, because it's just a fantastic thing to back up on. You know, if you're struggling, you can just pull the right shield out, absorb some damage, and eventually you'll be able to heal up and then deal with a threat. And as you can see here, my teammate struggled to find the helicopter, but once he did, we've managed to get the level completed. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. You know, it's a little bit informal, just giving you general tips with a few specific tips. So if you did like this style, please rate and comment as always. Suggest which levels you want me to do next, because I've still got quite a few left. I am going to link the playlist in the description, so check that playlist out, see what levels I've already done, and if there's any level you desperately want me to do next, I'll be quite happy to do that for you guys. Anyway, once again guys, thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.